All right, guys, it's Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for Wednesday, March 22nd, 2017. Big move down for the SPY yesterday, down 1.28%. First day, we've been down over a percent in over 100 days, and that's pretty rare. So we should have seen some of this by now. It's happening now. Best thing to do at this point is to be patient and watch how this thing shakes out. At this point, we don't know if it's going to be a reversal or if it continues to pull back here. And we've strategically added the VIX position here. So that was the addition yesterday. So if we do get a pullback, we are going to participate, probably get stopped out at Tesla and Amazon, but TZA, that IWM hedge we've had, is getting back to our entry point, and now UVXY would explode if the market pulled back, and we could get a really big move here. If the market comes back, we get stopped out here, and then TSLA and Amazon should run. So either way should work here. Now, talking about what could happen, if the market does start to pull back, we'll watch the 50 very closely. And if the market does start to pull back more, especially if it consolidates and then breaks down, we can think about adding more shorts or just sit back and wait. And then we're going to watch key levels to see if the market bounces. So obviously, we're getting close to the 50-day here, broke the 9 pretty much in one day here, 3 days if we count these days here. But right at the 50, we want to see how we test this range. And if we get through that range, it's 230. So essentially the same stuff we've been watching. The 50-day and then the old high here, range here at 230, 229 to 230. So we're going to watch this level, these levels very closely. IWM surprisingly got crushed yesterday, and then the Qs also down quite a bit at 1.5%. So everything's down. Your focus lists are going to be mostly red here. Now let's look at some areas. We've already talked about VIX, and we have the VIX position on. Considered JNUG, but didn't want to get too many positions on at this time. But we're going to continue with the same idea behind JNUG, and that's the remount of the 50, which JDX, the underlying, is already almost there. So we'll consider that if JNUG considers to pop. There's a potential for adding the JNUG position. Then with the rest of our positions, we're going to watch for these things to pull back to key levels. So if we're looking at something like Google, Google is testing the 50 just like the market. So we're going to use our market analysis and kind of overlay it with the stock and see where's a good spot to enter. We have to see strength before actually entering, some type of reversal. If there's a strong hammer on heavy volume, that would be perfect. So X, same thing, breaking down. If it pulls back in here, we could potentially have an entry, and we're going to do that for the whole focus list. So keep an eye out on how these things pull back. And in VDA, this is one we could consider as a potential short here, as it's just barely starting to break down right now. And then we've got a few others here. Cyber, does it break this low at 49, and it could test 45. GWPH, breaking the 50, we've got about 9 points to the 200-day, so maybe it consolidates here and then breaks. So there are a lot of potential shorts if the market continues to go, but first we want to see how this second and maybe even third day is going to be. Oil inventories are today. Now oil is again down pre-market, but in about an hour after the open, we'll see how oil reacts to that. And if it's a strong bounce, maybe that's something we could play it alongside. It depends what the reaction is to oil inventories. So that's it for the trade report. Best thing to do is to stay patient, and we'll see what happens with the market today and assess things from there.